What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. This is, why aren't you smiling? Why are you not smiling right now? It's a fantastic time of the year. We're in late fall. You got all the major sports on. The World Series is on, football's on, hockey's on, even basketball just started. You have no reason not to be thrilled on this Monday morning. Look at me, Tony Robbins, Mr. Positivity. Why am I so happy? Oh, Andy, what are you, one of those guys where you post a good Sunday and then you just come in happy the next day? Yep, that is going to be me today. That's exactly who I'm going to be today. And you want to know why that is? Like, think about what you do and what I do. So what I do is I set up this camera, I have this microphone, I build this whole studio, I do all the research, I spend all the time to make sure you get all the best sniffs, and then I deliver them to you. I edit it, I upload it, I look up ridiculous keywords on YouTube just so you can find the video. And let's compare that to the work you do. Dink, enter money in your pocket. You think we should have an even trade here? But no, you think you should get all the goods with none of the bads. Well, you got all the goods this week. All those NFL sniffs, the alts. I said I built up the bankroll to take a chance. If we lose, we deal with it. We got the Laporta alts. We got most of the Javonte Williams alts. We got the DeAndre Swift. It was raking, just continuing the destruction of this NFL season, and it has felt good. And on the hockey front, what do you know? The Saturday line combinations and the Sunday line combinations ended up in the profits both days. I mean, what else do you really want from me? I give you entertainment, I give you Kruger's glove, and you don't deserve winning picks, yet you get them anyway. So sit back, relax, put your spears away as we talk about some Monday NHL and NFL sniffs. We'll start on the gridiron. We're starting the NFL, where we had a nice whopping win yesterday, just in case you didn't hear in the last 5. Don't tell me not to enjoy it. You go read the comments on random videos. You're lucky I don't spend time finding out who you people are. The only reason I don't want to do that is because I'm scared to know what the majority of you look like. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the New York Giants in a game that I'm not very interested in. This is going to be a night where they've actually thrown us a bunch of hockey games to watch. So this football game is really, it's going to be down the bench when it comes to my own quad box that I got on the TV. But we have this whole Russell Wilson situation. He breathed a little new passing life into that Pittsburgh offense. Will that continue against the Giants? This is one of these games, I see like one, maybe 1.5 things that I like. We're not going to force sniffs. I know you have a 9-leg same-game parlay already put in. You don't, look at this game. You going to tell me that you confidently have a bunch of plays? Of course you are. You say that for every single game. I could bring you to a boxing event and you'll guarantee me you know what's going to happen on the undercard. So the guy I'm looking at is somebody that we won on last week. His line hasn't moved that much. His health has gotten a little better, and he's playing with a quarterback way more likely to check it down to him than the previous quarterback would. And that is Jaylen Warren, his over on receiving, which I like if Russell Wilson is playing. We saw a little uptick in his usage. That makes sense. He was injured, then he got a certain amount of touches, and then they ramped up his workload the following week. To me, the reason I want to take this is because either next week or the following week, Cordarrelle Patterson is coming back, and they're going to find him a few touches. And then all of a sudden, this is one of these three-headed backfields where you never really know how they're going to divvy him up. So while we only have 2 running backs in this backfield, I'm going to try to take some deli slices of those Jaylen Warren bets. So give me the over on Jaylen Warren receiving, and then also the over on Jaylen Warren rushing plus receiving. I like both of those for that Monday game. But then I guess we can do what we've been doing previously. It's been working out pretty damn well for us, and that is using Outlier to see what the hell do I not know about that has hit every single time this week and is a fairly reasonable price. Going back these last couple of weeks, it's pretty much worked out for every single bet. The Lamar over on longest rushing, that Greg Dortch, they've fed us a bunch of decent plays. And I saw another one like, yep, I would have never bet that. I would have never looked at that. And I just see green across the board. And it sounds right to me. This is when I sound like you. Like I just sound like a buffoon. but it's worked out well for us, so I'm going to try it once again. And this is the under on longest reception for old Van Jefferson. It's never missed. If it's never missed and it's a decent price, and I don't think that Russell Wilson has shown any sort of rapport with Van Jefferson. So give me that under on longest reception for Van Jefferson. And then the second one, this one kind of makes sense, but it just seems so chalky. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take it because there's not enough data behind it. It's Russell Wilson's only played one game. They're using it from last year. But let's track it. I'm not taking this. Doesn't count. But the over on longest completion for Russell Wilson. It's just such a chalky concept. Oh, he's got the great deal. He's got the moon ball. He throws those great moon balls to George Pickens. Did you see last week? You got to go over on long. I'm not going over on longest completion. We got the over on reception yards for Jaylen Warren, the over rushing and receiving yards for Jaylen Warren, and then the under on longest reception for Van Jefferson. And then we strap on our skates, hit the ice, and check out some of these NHL sniffs. Decent slate for a Monday, I'll tell you that. I'm going to start with something that's borderline funny. This is a pizzeria pick. The Toronto Maple Leafs, the more they change, the more they stay the same. You can bring in any coach you want. What are they, 4-4-2 again? And if you look these last 4 years, they start the same exact way. So if these are acting like the classic Leafs, then they're going to continue to act like the classic Leafs. What would the classic Leafs do? They would get blown out by the Blue Jackets on the road, then get crushed by the Blues on their own home ice. Everybody says these guys are bums. Let's not think about them again. And then they'll go on the road, go to Winnipeg, and beat an 8-0 team who hasn't lost a single game yet. And that's what I'm going to pick. I'm picking Toronto to go into Winnipeg, who's 8-0, and hand them their first loss, which is ridiculous. They shouldn't win this game. But hockey, there's no rhyme. There's no reason. Philly looked like the worst team you ever seen in your life. And then they went out there, and then they crushed Minnesota on Saturday, just to then get crushed the next day against the Canadiens. That's hockey, especially in the month of October. I'm going to try to capitalize on that scam hockey and take Toronto to beat the Winnipeg Jets. Then I'm looking down at this Vegas-Calgary game, and I see some opportunities. Every once in a while, I've talked to you guys about demotions, promotions. Look at this guy. He's been given a great opportunity, and now let's try to take his point prop. Oh, my God, his point prop's not there. Hopefully it's there tomorrow. It finally has arrived over the weekend, and that is Pavel Dorofeyev, who's had a spot on that Vegas power play, which has been extremely hot lately. So Pavel Dorofeyev, who plays on the second line alongside Tomas Hertl, and on the top power play with Eichel and Theodore and Hertl and Stone. So many great opportunities. His point prop over the weekend was like plus 140. I didn't get to see the price, but the way I know prices work, it's probably not going to be in the minus. So if that thing's hovering near the plus, you give me Pavel Dorofeyev for a plus money point, and then obviously that's the perfect line combo bet. Hertl point, Pavel Dorofeyev point. They play on the second line, top power play. They qualify, they meet the criteria, and I'm going to take both of them for a point. Then I'm going to go to a place where not many other people do, Columbus, Ohio, to check out the Oilers taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. This game's got a couple different vibes for me. At first, I was thinking, and I'm still kind of thinking it, Columbus has been scoring. Whether you look at that game against the Leafs or going on the road against Nashville, they've been able to put some pucks in the net. Edmonton played on Sunday, have to play in back-to-back days. I feel like Columbus has a good opportunity to score some goals here. And while I want to take that, and that does smell like the right play, you want to know what I want to hop on? A guy who's heating up for Edmonton, and there could be plenty of opportunities given the price. I want those 2 points for Leon Draisaitl. He had that game with Victor Arvidsson 2 games ago. Then on Sunday, we saw a little line experiment during the game, and it reaped immediate rewards, and that was they took Draisaitl, they put him on the top line with McDavid and Hyman. So you had Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl on the top line. Draisaitl ended up with a couple of points, a goal and an assist, and I'm looking for him to continue that. So I actually feel pretty good about Leon Draisaitl over 1.5 points, and I especially will feel good if he remains on that line, unless they may break it back up because, you know, they tend to line juggle. But if we're getting him playing with Connor McDavid on the top line and the top power play, and we're getting him at plus money, that's an absolute steal. So give me the over 1.5 points for Leon Draisaitl. And then probably another one that you're not going to like. Probably not going to like this one, but I like to ride the coattails of teams, whether that's a team playing good offense or a team playing good defense. And I'm seeing Carolina on this road trip that they're on. They are holding everyone. Edmonton, 2 goals or fewer. Calgary, 2 goals or fewer. The Cockroach Kraken, 2 goals or fewer. It's going to be a tough test. Tall order, last game on the road trip. They're facing Vancouver, who has scored in these last couple of games. But I trust how that Brind'Amour style and system is playing defensively. They're playing very well, and I really thought it would be to their benefit to lose some of those offensive pieces and kind of defer back to their defensive style of playing from a couple of years back. We've seen that over this first month of the season. This is going to be a tough one, but we're getting the right price for it. The juice may be worth the sniff. Give me the under 2.5 goals for the Vancouver Canucks. We may have to sweat that one, but I'm actually looking forward to it. A little late night West Coast sweat in the NHL. And then lastly, I just want to make note of it. You got the Utah, the Phoenix Coyotes who play in Utah. They've been in the midst of a rough stretch. See, when you start calling them the Coyotes, you kind of realize who they are. Oh, yeah, so that team who loses a lot is not going to make the playoffs, and who knows, will probably be in the lottery. But they are in a get-right spot. And when I say get-right spot, I don't even know if they're going to win this game, but I do think they should be able to connect for a couple of goals. Don't know the prices available. I will say this. If we're getting plus money on the Keller-Schmaltz line combo, the point line combo, that's what I'm taking for this game on one side. If not, on the Shark side, I know you think nothing of it, but it actually does mean a lot. Some line juggling, so we have Toffoli, Granlund, and Eklund all on the top line, all on the top power play. And so many of these games, they're trailing by 4, and then you check the score sheet and they lose 5-2. And who's involved with those goals? Granlund, Eklund. It's always the same guys. And I kind of want to take these guys to connect once again. So give me Granlund and Eklund to register a point. I mean, you know the deal. Every night you should have all these. I just try to highlight some of the ones that I like. On one side, I definitely like Keller-Schmaltz. And on the other side, I like Eklund and Granlund. That's what I have for you here on a Monday. NFL, NHL. How are you doing? You're doing great if you listen to some of my sniffs from over the weekend. So good luck to you. Better luck to me. Do me that favor. Gargoyles, Orcs, Aardvarks, and everyone alike. Like the videos, comment, subscribe, and then click the notifications. If you know more about YouTube than me, I don't know what helps trigger the algorithm. Whatever it is, please do that. And obviously, what's the biggest help of all? If you join the Patreon. That's patreon.com/Andy Francess. There's always chat rooms going on talking about all these games. Even if I'm busy doing something, there are a lot of smart sniffers in there who keep the information updated. And then I obviously have some people. Josh pops in there every once in a while. So hopefully we will see you over there. If not, no worries. I will see you tomorrow for some more NHL Sniffs. I'll talk to you then.